Guys, I just got up. I'm really tired and I slept on it, okay? I slept on the ending of Game of Thrones episode 3, The Long Night, and it has soured for me quite a bit. Usually when we do our Game of Thrones reviews, it's minutes after seeing it. It hasn't quite sunk in. And I just have to get my thoughts out here in a vlog because I saw so many people in the comments with similar ideas and similar disappointments and similar points as to the things that I was pointing out in the review. And while I ultimately gave it a good rating, I think that I was conflicted between how well directed the episode was, how well directed the action was, versus what the actual payoff in the show is. I can't believe that they set up the White Walkers in the pilot in episode 1 for 7 years, for 7 seasons, 8 years, 9 years, however long it's been in the actual show since there was a delay. And this is the resolution, the Night King story, the prophecies, the everything, the apocalypse, and he is resolved in one fucking episode. Doesn't say a damn word. He basically turns in. They built him up like there's something more to the White Walkers, and then they abandoned that. You remember their deal with Craster, but and the way they kind of seem intelligent and their obsession with Bran. But if they're just monsters and want to destroy everything, as the way they're depicted in this episode, why didn't they just fucking mob Bran at the end? There's no fucking point to doing all this build up and this vanity and the stuff that human bad guys make mistakes like that all the time. They say their master plan, only this guy doesn't say it because he doesn't talk. He just walks over there, smirks at him, and I'm gonna kill you and I won, and then he fucking dies. It's terrible. It's terrible writing. The Dothraki, they died needlessly. 100,000 of the most well trained horsemen soldiers die. It's a ridiculous suicide charge for absolutely no reason. They go through so much throughout the whole freaking seasons, and this is how they end. What? Who ordered that charge? The battle plans are so fucking ridiculous. I'm sorry about that because I have to go back to the Night King. The Night King, the White Walkers as a threat, as a bad guy in the series, was only just a sub boss, which makes no fucking sense to me. I thought they were going to tie everything in at the end, and they still have a chance to do that. But the main force is gone, so that's irreversible. Here's what I want to make a point about that is that the main force of the White Walkers is gone. The Night King is destroyed, maybe, more than likely. But with all that and with the resolution of this episode, Cersei has killed more important characters. Joffrey has killed more important characters. Walder Frey, by that extension, has killed more important characters. The Lannister army themselves is more effective than the White Walker army. An army of infinite dead. I can't believe it. And fuck, the same with the Stark armies. The Stark armies are more effective. They've wiped out major houses. They've won so many major battles where they wiped their enemies clean. And the White Walkers couldn't even do that. They had trouble killing the main characters because of the plot armor. I don't understand. This is Game of Thrones. This is the one series that's not supposed to happen. The Night King, he never uses his sword. Jon Snow does nothing. The prophecies meant nothing. The prince that was promised. Jon was brought back to life for what? For what now? Nothing? Killing Cersei? Why was Jon brought back to life? I don't know. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. You could say, well, maybe Jon was brought back. And there is, I'll talk about one saving grace at the end. There is a saving grace. It's at the end, and that ties into that. But let's talk about more reasons why I think that this was a choice made by the writers because it was the least expected choice.
She seemed like the best candidate provided we weren't thinking about her in that moment.
And why I think the books will be completely different, and why I think that this was a little out of place, and and all and all this stuff makes it out of place and an unsatisfactory ending, and kind of plucked from nowhere because it was unexpected. I just don't understand. Arya gets the killing blow because many people are going to say Arya gets the killing blow because she's a fan favorite. She's like, but it doesn't seem like she was building up to it. Nothing in her plot indicates that she was going to fight the Night King, that she's there to stop the White Walkers. She gets, listen to this, she gets all the most badass moments in the show, like all of them. She has OP powers. Everybody else pretty much does nothing compared to her. And it's this moment where it's like, no man can kill me. And she's like, I'm no man. And she No. No. And people would say, well, no, this was set up. They do this plot thread where, like, in season 3, she says, that the Red Woman was like, oh, you're going to close the eyes of Blue Eyes. But Arya shutting Blue Eyes, to me, was a reference to the Faceless Man training. And she's going to kill a bunch of people like that. Not to the Night King shutting his eyes, which never happens. His eyes, more like his eyes explode. His whole body fucking explodes. They take that mention and they put more emphasis, in my opinion, than it ever really meant, because she says Blue Eyes second in the season 3, and then here in season 7 she says Blue Eyes last, like that was the most important part. And say that was the real prophecy. All the other prophecy wasn't prophecies. That was the real prophecy. The eyes closing. Bull! Bull! Why kill the Night King with a callback from season 7, only one season ago, rather than using all the buildup over the previous 7 seasons? No, all the Night King was killed using a little training montage, a little training cool trick move that she used to defeat Brienne, by the way. She beats everybody. She beats the Hound, she beats Brienne, she beats fucking Walder Frey. She gets revenge for the Red Wedding. She gets to kill all these major baddies, and also the Night King, and also possibly Cersei, who's on her list. This is ridiculous. All because she randomly met a man who taught her how to do all this crap just out of the blue. I guess the Faceless ones were always fated to save Westeros. They were always fated to trade somebody, battle the Night King. I just think the book material ran out in season 4, and ever since then, sometimes it feels like high-budgeted fan fiction, and it seems like, that the writers have such an affinity for Arya at this point, because Arya was kind of what we were building, and we were building Arya, and then they ran out of material, so hey, let's just continue building Arya and make the whole story about Arya. That's the whole story is about Arya. If Arya kills Cersei instead of one of her siblings, that's when I'll know that this will officially have been the worst bungle of all time by these writers. And guess who else has green eyes, guys? They said, oh, you're going to kill Blue Eyes, you're going to kill Green Eyes. Guess who else has green eyes? Cersei. And I think even Dany too. I got to rewatch. Somebody check that. But I think this is Arya's story. Nobody else fucking matters in this story, by the way. It's just Arya's story. I should have anticipated that. That's my bad. Here's the thing. I think that Jon should have at least participated as the prince that was promised. I think he should have participated. And not just Jon, but Bran too. What the fuck was Bran doing? Was he warging into a rat to save another universe while this universe was being destroyed? You know what universe I'm talking about, a few of you. But I just think that at least Jon and Bran could have been involved. And now Jon and Bran, they're broken because, I don't know, girl power, fan service. Well, what's the point in becoming the three-eyed raven if you're going to sit there and do nothing? What? Did you have warg powers before the three-eyed raven, or you get the warg powers, or is the warg power because of the three-eyed raven? No. What the hell? David and Dan, they're terrible writers. It feels like they're terrible writers. They have no idea what they're doing outside of the books and outside of George's notes. I'm convinced. I mean, this shook me for the Star Wars Old Republic that they're supposedly going to do that they have next. I mean, they even wanted to do this series where the Confederates win the Civil War, and that blew up in their face. Yeah, these guys have great fucking ideas. They wanted to do an undead fucking polar bear.
What we had to go through to get the zombie polar bear was writing the zombie polar bear into every season of the show for about 4 seasons.
We thought they'd be so excited to do a zombie bear, and it's kind of like, oh my god, they're serious about doing this fucking zombie bear.
We cannot afford a zombie polar bear. This year made perfect sense that you could have one of these things out there, and we really put our 4 feet down and we said, God damn it, we want a zombie polar bear.
Instead of giving Benjen more time and an earned good death, they wanted to do a fucking polar bear. These are the fucking writers that we have right now without George R.R. Martin.
God damn it, we want a zombie polar bear.
Season 3, half the main cast dies. Untimely deaths in the Red Wedding. Book. Season 8, not book, literally the fucking end times, the apocalypse, the prophesized for thousands of years, millennia, and all the main cast survives. All of them.
So this is the culmination of one of the key storylines in the whole show.
God damn it, we want a zombie polar bear.
You cannot tell me that the writing and direction and the soul of the show is not different, or at least a shadow of its former self.
We've been building towards this for so long now.
It feels like the last 8 seasons are just being thrown away by trash TV writers because they want to, put some fucking, give more precedence to the fan favorites and put in their own ridiculous ideas. Rather than respecting the show's spirit. It feels like they chose Arya, or at least filmed this in such a bad way. And I don't have a problem with Arya being the one to get it, but what I do have a problem with is Jon and Bran not being more involved. Maybe Bran was involved because he got the Night King out there fine. I'll say fine. He does jack shit, nothing else, but just be a fucking pawn. I don't think that that's really the intention of the Three-Eyed Raven, but fine. But at least Jon, and it's like Jon is running there. He even overcomes his own, feelings to try to save Sam, who is clearly about to die, and he ignores him, thus learning the lesson that he's been taught, that there are more important things than your friend and more stakes here. Running, trying to get to the Night King and Bran. And he never makes it because he gets pinned down by the dragon so that Arya can get her special moment. Even though she's had 15 different special moments. It doesn't make sense. Arya literally materialized. You watch it again. She fucking materializes from thin fucking air. They're surrounded by whites. There's no ways they can penetrate this circle when they can fucking hear droplets of blood and freak out, and they can't sense that Arya's coming. Or they can sense it, but it's too late because one white looks back because he hears something. And don't tell me that white is Arya. Arya didn't have a fucking chance to kill one of the whites. Even the writer said that we took away Arya's OP powers when she knocked her head. That wasn't very clear why she was running around and the things. I thought it was just give them attention and stuff, and that's what it was for. But they're supposed to tell you she can't fight that well anymore.
Even for Arya, she can't take on a horde of whites by herself, and especially when her head gets smacked, she's no longer at 100%. It's just about survival at that point.
She could do one special move at the end, but she didn't have the fucking power and fortitude to fucking fight a general off screen. Is that what she did, fight a general off screen? No. George, listen, I wrote this. George, I wrote all these points. George had said he created the show to combat the tropes that were all so common in fantasy writing at the time. And what happens? What happens? It all becomes tropes here. A bad guy villain who's just pure evil for evil's sake with no purpose other than that to destroy everything. Fucking plot armor to a level we've not seen before since another huge fantasy property that George didn't want to copy specifically for all the characters, even though their arcs are done. This totally flies in the face of the spirit of Game of Thrones and what George intended. The writers admitted they chose Arya because it was simply unexpected. I highly doubt that specific part was in George's note. No, Joe, that was in George's notes. I doubt it. I highly doubt it. I'll apologize if in George he writes that Arya kills it by herself without any help and materializes out of nowhere. I will apologize. But get this, George did not tweet once to perhaps the most anticipated episode in the show's history. Not one peep from him, not one tweet. Not before, not during, not after. And yet he tweeted about some other show of his a few times, this other show. Hey, everybody check out this new show. It's so great. It's awesome. This is the real show. And then later on he says, I got no time to watch Game of Thrones. Yet he has time to watch this other show and tweet about this other show. Yeah, I think that says it all right there on what Game of Thrones is right now on the television version. It makes no sense. Everything pointed to that not being able to happen like that. And just because it doesn't make it smart or profound or inevitable. It means we have hack writers doing a cop-out. Doing a bamboozle. Doing a good bamboozle. The crypt, I don't know, man. The crypt was ridiculously obvious and stupid. And it's hilarious because I guess it was the safest place. And you're telling me no major characters died. Not even Varys. Varys dies. Not even Varys. What fucking purpose does Varys have at this point? They couldn't kill Varys. They couldn't kill Sansa. They couldn't kill Tyrion. They couldn't kill even the wife of Grey Worm. Serious? Arya is pregnant with Gendry's baby, so she has the true heir. Okay, and she's going to give birth to the true heir. Fuck Dany. Fuck Jon. Fuck any potential kid that they have. This is Arya's story, quite clearly. Arya's faceless training gave her the skills to avenge the Red Wedding, right? Face off against countless big baddies. She even bests some of the best good guys in the film. Not only all the best good bad guys, but she bests all the good guys, but also the Night King, also Cersei. Who's on her list here? Dany. Fuck, kill Dany too. Fuck it. Where do we go from here? Dany is amped up to fight Cersei in that preview. With what? Like a convenient northern lord's going to show up. Oh, we showed up late to the battle. Oh, it looks like you took care of everything. Well, I guess we don't have to fucking fight zombies. Really? That's what's going to happen? 99.9% of her Dothraki are gone. 99.8% of her fucking Unsullied are gone. Let me just, okay. So here, and I told you over and over, I don't even mind that Arya gets the final kill. I don't care. I'm not sexist. I'm not trying to be, the men need to do everything. I don't care. You want to give it to Arya, even though she's had all these other kills and she's the mind focus and all this other stuff. That's fine. But it's just the way it was done. The ending could have been fixed for me by one thing. If Jon and the Night King were fighting with their swords, it was this nice build-up over this many seasons, and we get at least something. If he's going to die in one episode, give us something. Give us something cool to watch. And when Jon is getting defeated and he's on the floor and he's about to die, that's when Arya appears from behind. Or even better explanation, she appears from the tree branches. That tree plays a key part. She jumps down and kills the Night King, or the Night King also stops her, and he's like, God damn, he's so OP. Then she does her trick, and boom. That would have been so much better. But we're robbed of that now. Clearly by these clueless writers. They were clearly building to get Jon there to fight. But for no reason, he's pinned down by the fucking conveniently placed dragon, just as conveniently as his own dragon is absent the whole time, and the other dragon and Ghost is absent the whole time. Just no. Sharing the kill simply would have been far more effective. It would have been thematic. It would have been appropriate. It would have been in the spirit. It would have fulfilled all the prophecies. And it would have still given you the surprise that Arya gets the kill, that Arya gets the glory. And that would still turn the prophecies on its head, as the writers seem to kind of want to imply. That the prophecies are right, but they're also wrong. That still would have fulfilled all those. It would have checked all of those boxes. And another thing that would have fixed the episode a little tiny bit more would be, don't do that fucking Dothraki charge. Okay? I can buy the main characters, the plot armor. I wanted a few more characters to die. That would also fix it. And then Bran actually doing something. And I'm hoping that's being saved for later in the show. And it's going to be show that, you know, he was warging into fucking something. I don't know. Because I swear to God, that's another confirmation that these writers suck if it is revealed that he was just still warging into those ravens. You notice how he wargs into the ravens at the beginning and to like do a little scout. Then so much fucking time passes and he's still warging and then he snaps out of it. It's as if the writers wrote him and then just forgot about him and then picked him up from where they forgot about him and didn't and like, oh shit, fuck. Yeah, he was still warging the ravens. What? That makes no sense. Just no. Then Melisandre just walks out in the snow and fucking dies. This is a weird death for her. Like, she should have fucking died after she lit the trench and got overwhelmed. But no, they had to do this thing where they had to bring her back because she has to say, you shut the green eyes and you shut the blue eyes and you shut the eyes. And they had to get her back over there. Just say that. So then she has to survive the battle. If she survives the battle, then she just rage quits at the end. I get it's explained, oh, her powers run out. But fucking the saving grace was the director of the episode who really basically took something that was kind of crap and polished it to a ridiculous level. To a ridiculous level. The director deserves all the fucking credit, not the writers, in my opinion. And how well he paced the episode and all the different tones and all the different tension. I was on the edge of my seat. And I think Miguel is very, very talented. And he saved it, and made it compelling and really engaging to watch. He cheated a little bit, but I think that was the writers where people are in danger like 9 fucking times. Like, oh, I'm about to die. Oh, and then the next scene, all of a sudden, the wave of zombies are now a little further back. It's like fucking Monty Python, and they're still alive. And then, oh, she gets tackled. And then, okay, later, oh, she gets tackled over here. And then later, she might go over the wall and fall, and Brienne. And then, no, Brienne's up against the wall, but then she's not. And then later on, Brienne and Podrick are up against the wall, and they're going to die. And, oh, no, they don't. It's just fucking crazy. And I had to fucking rant about it. For casuals, the episode is fine. I mean, I'm a casual, and that's why I rated it so highly, and I fucked up. I gave it an 8 out of 10, but I fucked up. Because for hardcore fans of Game of Thrones and people, especially book readers, and people that have been really anticipating the Night King and seeing the resolution, and it just ends like this in one episode, and the Night King is not really anybody important, and he's one of the worst villains ever, and all of this prophecy and the apocalypse is one fucking episode resolved in 10 minutes. No, for hardcore Game of Thrones, that is disappointing. Even though it's one of the best battle episodes I've seen, and I want to give it a 10. I think that's what my original thoughts were, was that it was at a 10, and I brought it down 2 points because all of the ridiculousness, because of the plot armor, and because of the Night King resolution. Well, it's 2 more points. Because it's the plot armor, the Night King resolution, flying against all of what's been set up, and this is the resolution, and it's so tropey, and that goes against the spirit of the books, and then just the way I think it was, resolved, and all the dumb decisions that was made, and the Dothraki, and some of the different things in the episode, and it's basically all story stuff that brought it down. So 6 out of 10. But I'm going to keep watching the show. And I'm not saying I'm rage quitting out of the show completely, and I'm not that upset. I just wanted to talk about my thoughts out loud and share my pain with you. And I know a few of you also felt disappointed, and this is therapeutic for us. So if you like the episode, that's great. You're allowed to like it. I feel good for you, and thank you for your downvote. At least you engaged with the video. Thank you for your mean comment. At least you engaged with the video, and at least you watched to the end. I should have said this at the beginning because you probably didn't watch it to the end, but you know what I'm saying. To say you are allowed to like it, but me personally, I didn't like the way it was resolved here.
So this is the culmination of one of the key storylines in the whole show.
That's fine. But at least the saving grace is everybody had their part. So without John, like, you wouldn't have won the Battle of the Bastards. You wouldn't have been able to retake the North. More importantly, you wouldn't have been able to convince everybody that they had to go and fight the White Walkers together. Without Bran, even if Jon couldn't get people together and Cersei and Jon team up, you know, without Bran, you couldn't stop the Night King. And without Dany and her forces, you wouldn't have enough military to fucking stop the Night King. Though, honestly, Dany is a little less her Dothraki did nothing. It just wasted nothing. It was like that. And then Sully'd hold them back for a few minutes. So that's what Dany contributed with all of her armies, really. I mean, Dany contributed her dragons, but she also contributed towards breaking the fucking wall with her dragons, stupidly going and saving Jon up north, and losing one of her dragons, and inevitably creating this whole fucking mess. So I'm not really sure Dany's storyline is very good. Or that she did do anything. If she just stayed in fucking, Essos or away, then none of this would have fucking happened. So it's all Dany's fault. So actually, now that I think about Dany's, that played her part, but her part sucks. And, I guess Jaime played his part, and fucking Tyrion played his part, and Sansa, I don't know. I guess. I mean, she's still playing the Game of Thrones while all this other stuff is happening. It's fucking ridiculous. But they have to set up those last 3 episodes. I mean, there's plenty of episodes left. So that's the saving grace for all you guys out there, and that's why I'm still going to watch the show, and that's why I still hope that they can fix all this and wrap it up. All right, guys. That was my angry rant.